You ever notice how women will punish good men because they're good men? I recently called out women for reserving most of their disrespect for the men they're dating. And I actually wound up in a conversation with a girl in my friend group about the topic. This was her rationale. Yeah, I guess that's kind of true, but that's just because we feel more comfortable around you. Like, we know you're not gonna get angry or do anything bad to us. Disclaimer. I really like this girl, and I know she thinks she's being complimentary with this reasoning, but I had to explain to her that if she completes the circle of that thought process, she will land on the realization that she is being disrespectful to a man because he is good. And I know that a ton of women rationalize their behavior like this in the same way. Newsflash, we do get angry. We just don't act on it. Why? Because we're good. This is why good men shut down in relationships instead of fighting you. They become what they believe is the least dangerous and most peaceful versions of themselves in these moments.
I'd like to add my 2 cents. That way that video will actually have some value. So have you ever stopped to think that it is the people closest to us who always get the worst of us? Have you ever thought about how many a man treats and romances a woman he is trying to sleep with for the first time versus how he treats and romances a woman 4 years deep into a relationship? Sure, women are more likely than men to operate in how they feel. They are wired to be more fixated on and responsive to negative emotions, and many women do need to work on emotional regulation and accountability. But let's not pretend that it's not a two-way street. Now, I'm not excusing nor encouraging anyone to tolerate neglect and disrespect in relationships, not at all. I'm saying that maintaining a long-term relationship is hard work, and you better believe it is the people who have to live in close proximity to us who we know aren't just going to up and leave us, we are heavily emotionally invested in, who we allow ourselves to be our most vulnerable selves with. Those are the people who will see our best and our worst, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We will find ourselves in places where the way that they chew drives us up the wall, or how they always leave their socks everywhere drives us crazy. We don't have to deal with anyone else in our lives on that level of intimacy and responsibility and expectation. This includes both men and women. Let's be real. We all expect a laundry list of things from our partners that we do not expect from anyone else in our lives. Navigating the deep waters of relationship is not easy. This is why so many people opt for shallow water and splashing around short term with strangers, because they can't swim. Oh, and do you know what one of the worst types of guys is? It is the guy who thinks he is a good guy, who thinks he is a high value man, and that because he's such a good guy, he puts himself on a pedestal and he thinks that his woman should never behave in any way that he deems as negative. Like, how dare she? You're a good man. She should shut up, sit down, and serve you, and just be happy you don't hit her or cheat on her. Such men will be overly sensitive and defensive, and any time she does anything that may color outside of the lines that he has drawn around his own comfort zone, he shuts down. Now, he tells himself he shuts down because he's a stoic, masculine, good man, but in reality, he has no backbone. He is conflict avoidant. He becomes passive aggressive. He abandons and invalidates how she feels. He likely suppresses his own emotions and builds resentment and anger until he finally reaches a boiling point. Such men are far from safe and far from good.